Have you ever wondered why you keep putting off the things you know would change your life? You promise yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, or when things feel a little easier, but somehow tomorrow keeps moving further away. You scroll through endless videos looking for that one quote or clip to finally light a fire under you. But once the video ends, reality stays the same. Deep down, you wish for some unstoppable force to grab you by the hand and push you forward, to magically erase your excuses and fill you with relentless drive. But what if that force isn't coming? What if the very thing you're waiting for is the reason you're stuck? Think back to every goal you've ever dreamed about: getting in shape, starting that side hustle, saving money, learning a new skill, breaking a bad habit. Each time you imagine how good it would feel to succeed, your heart races with possibility. Yet when it's time to act, your mind throws up walls. I'm too tired today. I'm not ready yet. I don't feel like it right now. And just like that, your dreams get postponed again and again, buried under distractions and excuses. But here's a thought that might change everything. What if feeling ready doesn't matter? What if the truth is you don't need to wait for a burst of energy, inspiration, or motivation to get started? Imagine how different your life would look if you stopped giving so much power to your feelings and started trusting your actions instead. What doors would open if you took that first step right now, exactly as you are? The answer is closer than you think, and it starts with a simple choice you can make today. Most people spend a large part of their lives waiting for the perfect moment to begin. We convince ourselves that once we feel inspired enough, strong enough, confident enough, then we will finally take action on the goals we hold close to our hearts. It's an idea we pick up early in life and carry like a hidden rulebook. We imagine a future where we suddenly wake up transformed into the kind of person who leaps out of bed, ready to tackle challenges. We think that future version of ourselves will have endless willpower and no fear of failure. So we wait. We look for hacks, tricks, and videos to get us fired up. But even the best pep talk can't erase the reality that deep down, we're still hoping for something to push us forward. This way of living creates a cycle that feels impossible to break. We plan, we dream, we make promises to ourselves, yet nothing changes because the spark we expect doesn't appear. Then we blame ourselves, convinced we're just lazy or undisciplined compared to others. We admire the people who seem unstoppable and assume they have something we don't: an endless supply of motivation. In truth, those people aren't driven by motivation alone. They know something most of us overlook. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. It's fragile, easily crushed by a bad day, an unexpected setback, or a simple mood swing. Basing progress on motivation is like building a house on shifting sand. Think about your own life for a moment. How many things have you postponed because you told yourself you weren't ready? How many times have you felt frustrated watching someone else achieve exactly what you want while telling yourself you'd get there someday? That someday is the most dangerous promise you can make to yourself because it keeps you comfortable in the present while convincing you that the future will magically fix everything. But the uncomfortable truth is that the future won't change unless you do something different right now. You don't need a lightning bolt of motivation to get up early, write that first page, have that difficult conversation, or break that unhealthy habit. You need a simple understanding. Feelings don't always have to match actions. When you grasp this, you take your power back. You realize the only thing standing between you and progress is the decision to act, whether you feel like it or not. One of the biggest myths people cling to is the idea that motivation is the magic key that unlocks productivity, discipline, and long-term success. It's easy to see why this belief is so popular We're constantly surrounded by images of highly driven people crushing goals, smiling while working out at dawn, or passionately building businesses late at night. Watching them, it's tempting to assume they have an inner flame that burns brighter than ours. As a result, we keep searching for that same spark inside ourselves. We read books, watch motivational videos, pin inspirational quotes, and tell ourselves that tomorrow or next Monday, we'll feel ready to transform our lives. But this thinking traps us in an endless waiting game. Instead of taking even a tiny step forward, we spend more time planning, fantasizing, or searching for that one piece of advice that will finally push us to act. Meanwhile, life moves on. Opportunities slip away while we watch from the sidelines, frustrated and disappointed in ourselves. We start to question our worth, wondering if maybe we're just not cut out for big goals. This self-doubt feeds a dangerous cycle. The less we do, the more we blame ourselves for not doing enough, and the more we wait for motivation to save us. Another part of the problem is that society celebrates the results, but rarely shows the messy reality behind them. We see the final product, the finished book, the fit body, the thriving business, but not the countless days when the person behind it felt tired, uninspired, or scared and did the work anyway. We forget that every big success story is really a series of ordinary days filled with small, often uncomfortable actions. People who depend on motivation alone often find themselves stuck when life gets hard. Stress, failure, boredom, or a bad mood can instantly drain our desire to work toward our goals. If we rely on feeling good to get started, we lose momentum the moment we don't feel good. This creates inconsistency, which is the true enemy of growth. Goals are rarely missed because of lack of talent or resources. They're missed because we don't show up when we don't feel like it. Understanding this is both a challenge and an invitation. It forces us to face the truth that waiting for motivation is a choice, and it's costing us precious time. Once we see this, we're left with the question, will we keep waiting, or will we learn to act without permission from our feelings? This decision can define the rest of our lives. When you look closely at how real progress happens, you discover something surprising. Action usually comes first, and motivation follows afterward like a loyal shadow. It's easy to believe this is backward because the human brain naturally wants comfort and safety. It resists uncertainty and hard work, preferring familiar routines, even if those routines don't serve us well. So when you set a new goal, waking up earlier, exercising daily, eating healthier, writing every day, your brain's first reaction is to resist. It whispers convincing excuses. You're too tired. You deserve a break. You'll do it tomorrow when you feel more ready. This protective instinct worked well in the past when avoiding danger kept us alive, but today it's the same instinct that keeps us stuck in procrastination. What's fascinating is that this protective mechanism can't stop you once you move. As soon as you begin, even with a tiny action, your brain adjusts. Starting is like flipping a switch. It interrupts the cycle of excuses and proves to your mind that you are capable right now, not later. Research shows that taking even a small step can generate a feeling of accomplishment, which boosts mood and sparks motivation. This is why the hardest part of any habit is the beginning. Once you push through the initial resistance, continuing feels easier than starting did. Think of all the times you dreaded doing something, a workout, a phone call, a work task. The anticipation was worse than the reality. Once you were in motion, you found energy you didn't know you had. This is not luck or a special trait. It's the brain's response to action, Knowing this can change your approach to every goal you set. Another important aspect is lowering the bar to get started. Many people think big, which is good, but then try to do too much at once. Overwhelm kills momentum before it begins. Successful people break huge goals into tiny, manageable tasks that they can start immediately. Instead of planning a perfect workout routine, they start with a 5-minute walk. Instead of outlining an entire book, they write a single paragraph. Each small win builds confidence and creates a chain reaction. This process builds discipline, which is far more reliable than motivation. Discipline doesn't ask if you feel like it today, it simply shows up, regardless of moods or obstacles. Over time, this consistency rewires your mind to expect progress, not perfection. You learn that you can trust yourself to act no matter how uninspired you feel, and with each action, your sense of power grows, transforming hesitation into habit and doubt into momentum. There comes a moment in everyone's life when the weight of excuses feels heavier than the discomfort of taking action. It's that instant when you see with absolute clarity that you've been waiting for something that doesn't actually exist, a perfect feeling that will never arrive. This realization can hit unexpectedly during a sleepless night, after another day wasted on mindless scrolling, or when you watch someone else living the life you keep telling yourself you'll start one day. It's both painful and freeing because for the first time you understand that no one is coming to hand you the motivation you crave. The only way out is through your own decision to move, ready or not. In this pivotal moment, you stand at a crossroads. On one side is the path you've always walked, putting things off, waiting to feel brave, inspired, or confident. On the other side is a new path, one where you take the smallest step, even while your mind protests. This step doesn't have to be dramatic. It could be waking up 10 minutes earlier, saying no to an unnecessary distraction, or doing a task you've avoided for weeks. What makes it powerful isn't how big it is, but that you do it in spite of the voice that says, not now. This is the turning point where you stop giving your feelings the final say in how you live. You realize feelings are temporary, but actions create reality. You stop waiting for the perfect mood and start building momentum with raw, imperfect movement. Each small victory teaches your mind a new truth. You don't need to feel ready to change your life. You only need to move first. Feelings will catch up later. Many people believe courage is something you must feel before you act. But in reality, courage appears the moment you act, not a second sooner. When you push past the hesitation and do what you promised yourself you would, you experience a surge of strength you didn't know you had. This moment becomes a new reference point. The next time your brain tries to talk you out of doing something hard, you remember that you've done it before and survived. In the end, this key moment divides those who stay stuck from those who break through. It's not talent, luck, or resources that draw the line. It's the simple but life-altering choice to act in spite of doubt, to move before you feel like it, and to trust that progress always rewards those who dare to start. When you step back and look at the big picture, it becomes clear that the stories we tell ourselves about needing motivation are some of the biggest barriers to the life we truly want. For so long, many of us have held on to the comforting idea that we just need the right push, the right mood, or the right time to begin. We cling to it because it feels safe. It allows us to avoid discomfort and fear of failure. But the price of that comfort is high. Missed opportunities, wasted potential, and regret that grows louder with every passing year. The truth is, motivation is not the spark we wait for, but the fire we build through action. Each time you choose to act instead of waiting, you chip away at the lie that you must feel ready to succeed. You show yourself what you're truly capable of. Not perfection, not superhuman discipline, but simple, consistent effort in the face of resistance. This effort compounds. Small steps add up faster than you think, and before you know it, you look back and realize you've covered miles when once you couldn't even take a single step without overthinking it. This shift in mindset reclaims your power. No longer do you have to rely on fleeting feelings. You learn to trust yourself instead of your emotions. You stop giving up your dreams to fear or procrastination because you understand that action is always within reach, no matter how you feel in the moment. Think about the version of yourself you want to become, not the fantasy of a perfectly motivated, flawless person, but a real, strong individual who follows through. That version of you is not built on bursts of inspiration. It's built on ordinary days when you decide to do what matters, even when it's uncomfortable. Those days shape your character and prove to you over and over again that you are stronger than your excuses. In the end, it's not about never feeling unmotivated again. It's about not letting that feeling stop you. It's about showing up for your goals on your worst days, not just your best. So as you move forward, remember this simple truth. You don't have to wait. You just have to begin. And beginning is always possible, right now, exactly as you are. Now is the moment to draw a line in the sand and make a promise to yourself that you will no longer wait for the perfect feeling to act. If you've read this far, it means something inside you is ready, not because you feel perfectly motivated, but because you're tired of watching life slip through your fingers while you stand still. So take a deep breath and choose to break this pattern today. Start with something small, so small that your brain can't talk you out of it. Is there an email you've been avoiding? Write the first line now. Want to exercise more? Put on your shoes and step outside for 5 minutes. Dream of learning something new? Spend 10 minutes researching it instead of scrolling through distractions. It doesn't have to be perfect or impressive. It only has to happen. That first move is your signal to your mind. I don't wait anymore. I do. Share this commitment with someone you trust or write it down where you can see it daily. Remind yourself often, feelings don't decide your actions. You do. Build this habit slowly but consistently. Each time you take action without waiting for motivation, you strengthen your trust in yourself. You become the kind of person who doesn't sit around hoping for the right mood. You create your own momentum step by step. Keep track of your progress. Celebrate tiny wins because they prove that action fuels motivation, not the other way around. On days when doubt creeps in, and it will, look back at all the small promises you've kept. Use that proof to push through the next block of resistance. If you truly want to change your life, stop asking your feelings for permission. Start asking your future self what they would thank you for doing today. Then do it. Tired, scared, or unsure. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start now. The life you dream about isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's built in moments like this when you decide to act, ready or not. Choose to begin today and watch how this one decision transforms everything.